Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Courtney if you're new here. Today I've got another video for you. This one's going to be a what's for dinner video sharing 3 very easy meals for your family. These were all super delicious and very quick and easy, I would say. Like little hassle at all. Easy to do. Anybody could do it. So I'm excited to share those with you. Let's get on into it. First up, we've got a really easy taco soup recipe where you pretty much just dump everything into a pot and cook it until it's nice and heated through. So for this, we've got a can of rotel, we've got some pinto beans, black beans, diced tomatoes. I've got the kind with the basil, oregano, and garlic in it. We've got some corn, taco seasoning, cream cheese, ranch seasoning, and then some Greek yogurt. And then I've got my ground beef cooking back there. I've also going to be using this bag of pepper and onion blend that I had in the freezer. That'll help add some moisture to and liquid to the soup. And then I also topped mine with some cilantro, but I didn't put it in here because Travis and the other people in our family do not like cilantro. So I did go ahead and cook up my ground beef. I ended up switching it to this pan and did it in there and drained it off just a little bit. I didn't drain any of the cans except for the black beans, and so you'll just dump literally all of the cans in there. And like I said, I didn't drain any of them. I did, well, that's not completely true. I drained these pinto beans just a little bit, but for the black beans, I didn't want my whole soup to turn black, so I did rinse those off. And then you dump in both packets of your seasoning mix. I used a block of cream cheese that I cut up, but you know, it just stayed solid. And then I used a cup and a half, I think, of Greek yogurt and stuck that in there. And you cannot tell that it's Greek yogurt, just FYI, because I'm not a fan of Greek yogurt flavor in general, but in this it's totally fine. And then I added probably a cup and a half to 2 cups of those frozen veggies and stuck that in there as well, and then put the lid on it and let it heat up on about medium heat, stirring occasionally until it was nice and heated through. And that's literally it. It doesn't get any easier than that. You can top it how you want with some shredded cheese, cilantro like I did. We served these with some of those little tortilla scoops. It was so good. Next, we're going to do the crockpot Mississippi pot roast, and this is actually, I've made it a few times now, but I don't know why in the world I hadn't tried it sooner. It is so good. So we've got our roast meat there. We've got carrots, ranch seasoning, Italian au jus seasoning. They're out of the McCormick, so I got that brand. And then these are the sliced pepperochinis, Italian seasoned. I love these, and I'll probably use those every time I do it now instead of the whole ones. It just was really good. And then a stick of butter. And that's all you need for this. You don't even need the carrots if you don't want carrots. Some people put potatoes and carrots in it. It's whatever you like or prefer. I've done both. So you just stick your meat in there, you pour out your seasoning packets. I didn't use this whole pack because it was a little more than the McCormick ones. And then I did 3 tablespoons of the ranch seasoning in here because I get it in the jar form basically instead of the packets. And then you stick your stick of butter on there, add some of the juice from the pepperoncinis, and then add your desired amount of the peppers in there, as well as your carrots. And if you're using potatoes, you can go ahead and do that too. We just made some potatoes separately. Stick the lid on there and set it to cook on low for around 8 hours. If you've never tried one of these, which I'd be surprised if you haven't because I'm sure lots of people have, then I highly suggest it because it is so good. I didn't even know I liked pot roast until I tried this. Here it is all shredded up afterwards. Travis went ahead and did that before I filmed what it looked like before we shredded it. It just falls apart. It's literally amazing. The carrots, I'm not a huge fan of carrots, cooked carrots, but with this seasoning in there, they're even delicious too. So if you haven't tried that as well, the carrots in it, so good. We serve this up with some mashed potatoes on the side, and it's just the perfect meal. Then the last easy meal that I'm going to share are these ranch chicken bites. This is one of our kids' absolute favorite meals, and ours too. We absolutely devour this chicken. I do like to use this thin sliced chicken breast because it's in bite size form. You can use any kind of chicken you want, obviously, but to get the most seasoning out of it, this is what we like to use. We use some ranch seasoning, butter, salt, pepper, breadcrumbs, Italian seasoning, garlic, and oil. Obviously, just stick in the pan along with the butter. When we have this, Travis actually usually makes this meal. He pretty much came up with it all on his own, and so here he is chopping up the chicken, and the power of editing, it looks like he's chopping it really fast. Don't try to do it that quick though, because that would not be safe. Next, he just mix up all the seasonings. Oh, I guess he does use some oil in that. I forgot. He pours a little bit of oil in there, and then he goes ahead and gets the pan heated up on medium, adds his desired amount of minced garlic, and then Italian seasoning, as well as the other seasonings. He uses some breadcrumbs. He is more of one of those cooks that doesn't measure pretty much anything that he makes, and I'm the opposite. I like to know exact measurements most of the time, not always. Sometimes I'll do it, but otherwise I like to know the measurements. But he doesn't, so he adds all of his seasonings, desired amount, until it looks nicely coated. And here's the ranch seasoning. We go heavy on the ranch seasoning because it's just really good. Then mix it all up to get it all coated, and then sometimes he'll go back in and add a little bit more seasoning or oil or just whatever it looks like it needs. And then once the pan is heated up, we did cook this in the cast iron because it's just amazing. He adds some oil to it as well as some butter. And I just thought this looked so cool with it heating up there. You can literally see the reflection through it. Once you start getting your chicken in the pan, you want to keep a good eye on it because it doesn't take long to cook because these are so thin. It just takes a few minutes on both sides and then they're done pretty much. I mean, it really doesn't take long at all. We did cook this with some mac and cheese on the side. So there's my pot of mac and cheese boiling, and there's the chicken sizzling. It just looks so good. So that's before he turned it over, and then after it gets a nice brown coating, obviously you can cook it to your liking. I like mine a little bit more toasty on the sides. Travis prefers it not so much, so he does a mix of both in case you're wondering what it looks like at the end, because it does look on the top, mine are on top there and they look a little bit extra done, but that's how I like them. So here's what we served it with. We had mac and cheese, and I did have broccoli and cheese on the side, but I didn't realize I was doing that. I thought I was cooking the seasoned broccoli, but it ended up being broccoli and cheese, but that's fine too. And then some good old Sister Schubert's rolls on the side as well. Such an easy meal. All three of these were not much effort put in at all, but leaves us with 3 very delicious meals, and I hope you guys enjoy them. If you do, make sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments down below so I can make some more of these types of videos for you, and subscribe if you're not already. See you guys later. Bye, y'all.